how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the 25th episode of Hot Games Only, the show where we talk about everything that's hot in the world of games. I'm your host, Ethan, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host with the co-most. It's Hunter. Hey, Hunter. How's it going, man? How's it going?
Oh, it's going just lovely. Good to be here with you on this swell evening. And you know what? Because I know we're about to be derailed by this for the millionth time, I reviewed the footage after the episode last week, and it turns out that the first time I said swell was in episode 3, my second appearance, right?
Yeah.
And then I didn't say it again until episode 6, but that was the episode that you were like, oh, you say that every week. So the second time I said
it was my own doing.
It was
my own doing.
Was when you said it.
You created this monster.
Hey, there we go. I'm also joined by the Weeb Wonder itself. It's Kyle. Hey, Kyle. How you doing, bud?
Hiya.
You doing good? You good?
Yeah, man. I just finished watching Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, nice. You're better man than me.
Good show.
Ethan, it's 26 episodes.
Oh, that's 26.
That's like a week.
You've asked me about. I'm still on the same episode of the P4 anime that I was like 3 weeks ago. I just haven't. I haven't had the time.
Shame.
I've been busy.
If Persona can't motivate me to watch something, then nothing will.
Well, no, it's just every time I get so fucking close to watching it, and then it's just like something shitty happens in life, or I'm just not feeling great, and it's like, because it's such a funny episode that I know is coming up, I just don't want to ruin it with a bad mood. So every time I'm like, I can't find the perfect time to watch it. I can't. Anyway, but yes, welcome back to HGO. 25th fucking episode. We have made it through half a year of this shit. So well done, everybody. I feel like a round of applause. We did it.
Go
Woo.
us.
Woo.
Yeah,
I feel like,
go.
We did it quickly. Throw some Assassin's Creed.
He's going to tip the bookshelf.
There we go. Hooray. Well done, everyone.
Not yet. You have to wait till
Why
episode
was that
100.
so violent?
I don't know. Was that every Assassin's Creed? Oh, no, 2 of them got away with it. Fuck you, double dip. There we go. Okay, cool. But yeah, this is HGO.
Nice.
We've been doing this for half a year now, ladies and gentlemen. We've been doing this since March, and that's crazy to me. So thank you, everyone, for your support. I did not think we'd get this far doing it as regularly as we have. So thank you all for your support. Thank you for Hunter for motivating me to actually do this every week. And thank you for Kyle for actually giving us topics to do every week as well. That's great. So thank you both for being here. And thank you to everyone else that's been a part of it, whether it's Jack, whether it's Kane, whether it's Jacob, whether it's Sam, whether it's Yoshilla, everyone that's been a part of this podcast. I think I've mentioned everyone. I hope I haven't fucking missed anyone. But everyone that's been a part of this podcast, thank you so much so far for the first 25 episodes. And here's to 25 more. But hopefully we'll be done. Like, that'll be a year, and that'll be great. We'll see. Yeah. How will we get there? Probably, hopefully. God, I fucking hope so.
I will make us.
Yeah,
I'll do the show myself if I have to.
We're going to go into a bit more detail about HGO in general. We're going to do an opening topic about some stats and stuff like that. But beforehand, I'm going to tell you that this is HGO, where we come to you every Monday to talk about everything that's hot in the world of gaming. You can find us on podcast services, including Apple Music and Spotify, every week at Monday, 5 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. Eastern. You can also find us on YouTube, bit.ly/thegiggers. You can head to our Twitter at HotGamersOnly or at theGiggersYT. You take your pick. You can get notifications there. And you can also find every podcast service that we're on by going to Linktree. That's linktr.ee/HotGamersOnly. We're everywhere, essentially, and you can get us there. You can get all 25 episodes. Go catch up. We've got some good stuff on there. But yeah, I think we'll start with some little stats. Now, I've got a few stats. I don't know if anyone else. I've basically just got the Google Doc up. I updated the Google Doc, so I thought it'd be fun to just share some stats.
Oh, nice.
At the 24.
I didn't know we were doing that this week.
Yeah, I thought I'd surprise you guys.
You mentioned it last week.
I thought I would
also
surprise
didn't
you
know
guys.
we had homework.
Yeah, no homework. No homework, but I just thought this would be fun. So, out of the 24 episodes that we've done, I have been on all 24 of them. Hooray!
He doesn't trust us.
No, I just haven't had a chance for a break yet. Trust me. You think I haven't wanted a week off of this shit? Yeah, of course I have. But hey, it's a long process. I'm the only one with the assets at the moment, so it'd be like, here's all the assets and here's everything. Get it up. We'll do it one day. I promise you an episode without me one day. But I have been on this for 24 episodes. Hunter, I believe you've missed 3?
2.
It's
been 2.
22
3 with the Persona cast.
3 with the Persona cast, yeah. So Hunter has been here for 21 of the 24 episodes,
right,
which is
Smash Bros.
Crazy. Yeah, Smash Bros was the other one that he missed. And Cal, you have been
Smash Bros and CTR.
Cal, you've been like 20, 19. You've been in a few less than Hunter. Because there was the Final Fantasy VII spoiler cast that you weren't here for. There was the Last of Us spoiler cast. It's mainly the spoiler cast.
The Last of Us episode.
Yeah.
And the Last of Us
Before
episode
that,
as well, so
yeah.
that's 3. So that we're doing some quick math on the fly. Carl's been in 18
And
episodes.
the CTR episode.
Yeah. So yeah, 18, you've been in like 18 episodes. So hey, there you go. The total length of podcast that we've done for our entire time so far is just over 31 hours of Hot Gamer Gold.
Oh,
Yeah,
doctor.
31
team.
whole episodes of HGO. The average length is 1 hour, 17 minutes, and 45 seconds. There you go. There's some stats for you. The longest episode we have ever done is, can you guess it, guys? I bet you can't. Oh, wait, it's obvious. It's the Persona 5 spoiler cast. At
Yep.
3 hours, 16 minutes, and 45 seconds. Our shortest episode was actually just 2 episodes ago. It was the Gotham Knights Suicide Squad episode, where it was only 55 minutes and 3 seconds. That was our shortest episode. Most viewed episode on YouTube, is it a shocker? It's the episode with Yoshilla, the Smash Bros predictions.
Yeah.
And then the most listened to episode, which is also not a shocker, is the Persona 5 Royal Spoiler Cast. You guys really seem to like that shit, and it's still like in our
Nice.
top 10 listened episodes every month. So thank you for that one. Really appreciate it.
That's awesome.
So there you go. There's some stats for you about HGO, where we've come a long way from the first episodes. I can't actually go and watch the first episodes anymore because it's so weird. But hey, it's fun, and thank you all so much for actually being here. I think that's all I've got to say. Have you guys got anything to add? I don't know.
No,
I just want to say
Go for it.
thanks for the continued support. It really does mean a lot that you all keep coming out to watch this.
Yeah,
Watch
it's
it,
crazy.
listen, whatever.
Well, wherever you get it, we do really appreciate it. It's been keeping our minds busy during quarantine. It's been entertaining us. It's just been a really fun project. I didn't think that we'd all attach onto it as much as we would, to be honest. I thought that it would just kind of be me trying to go, hey, let's do this thing, and everyone else just kind of, but no, everyone else has really taken a grip to it. I've really appreciated everyone's support so far, whether it's coming out to our own stuff on Twitch or whether it's following the Twitter or just watching the episodes and giving your support. We've really appreciated the support so far. Crazy. So thank you so much. And here's to more, where hopefully the next 25 episodes will be even better than the first 25. Yeah. And maybe there'll be more things other than HGO on the channel by the time we're at 50.
Maybe.
Nah.
Who knows? I don't.
Who knows?
If it ain't broke.
Videos.
If I don't make videos, what's a video, dude? What's a video? But with that out of the way, we're going to get back to your regularly scheduled guys talk shit about video games and then go off the rails within 3 minutes.
Time to mansplain some video games.
Guys,
Hell yeah.
I prefer bro-splain, thank you very much. Yeah,
Bro-splain.
dude, just a bunch of bros
Bro-splain.
hanging out talking about, let me check my card because I'm a real gamer.
Let me just grab my Mountain Dew and Doritos. from the Xbox
Yeah,
360
dude. Yeah,
controller.
so Hunter, what have you been playing, dude? I mean, look at your hoodie, dude. What have you been playing?
You see, Amazon delayed my copy of Tony Hawk, so
Oh.
I went and the internet kept saying that Avengers still isn't that bad, so I just had to see for myself.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Nope, I did not do that. I just bought the Tony Hawk remake on the PSN store.
I
Instead.
love how he has his regular get-up underneath. Like, it's like...
Oh, wait, is that Dante's amulet?
That is. It took you this long to
That's sick
notice.
as hell.
But yeah,
Of course he's got the fucking regular get-up underneath, dude.
but yeah, I did
What, do you
not
think he
play.
just didn't have a shirt on underneath?
No, I just thought, no, the shirt I was expecting. I was just not expecting, I was not expecting the necklace to be under the Marvel's Avengers hoodie, dude. I was just like...
Oh man, but yeah, so
Yeah.
I did get Tony Hawk on the
Hawk?
PlayStation
Yeah.
Store, and it's been a lot of fun for now. Anyway, I didn't think I would relearn how to play these games as quick as I did. I thought it was going to be like, oh, how do I manual? Manualing is just, up and down on the stick. And
Yeah.
the highest compliment I can give this game is probably that it feels like how I didn't even have very vivid memories of playing Pro Skater. It was always Tony Hawk Underground that I played when I was young, at least. But it still feels like how I remembered it, not necessarily how it was.
Mm-hmm.
So it feels really good. This is one of those games that just feels good to be good at, too. Like,
Yeah.
certain games, it's just kind of like, oh, you're
Yeah.
along for the ride and you just want to go from beginning to end. Like The Last of Us, for example, I don't necessarily care about doing good in that game. I just kind of want to
Get
experience
by,
it.
yeah.
Tony Hawk feels good to be good at, and that's great.
Yeah. And one of the
Yeah.
one of the things that I've been seeing everyone say, and this is like really good, and I've got to give mad props to Vicarious Visions for doing this and doing such a good job on this remake, because when Crash came out, everyone was like, all the people that were just casual fans of it was like, yeah, this is great, this is just as I remember it, and then all the hardcore fans were like, this is fine, as the building was burning and everyone hated everything about it, right?
It's true. I thought that the Insane trilogy was all right, and then a few years later, I start talking to you guys again, and you're like, "Oh, it's not that good." And
Well,
I'm
no,
like,
it's,
"Well, you guys,
everyone,
you guys
everyone,
played it.
yeah.
You guys played Crash 2 way more than I have.
It's
I played
functional.
Everyone, I think
played it
that's
for
the thing,
years.
right? It's because to me, Crash 1 and 3 of NST are completely fine, whereas I'm just a Crash 2 like I love Crash 2, right? So, and having played it so much, I can tell that it's wrong. It's like Kane is very vocal about how he doesn't like Crash 1 in NST because that's the one he's always played. And then I've heard people like Tom and stuff like that who are more known for who've played Crash 3 a lot go, oh yeah, Crash 3 also fucking has its problems and doesn't feel right. So I feel like if you're like a super hardcore fan of these games and have played them over and over and over again, it just gets to a point where you're like, oh, these just don't feel right. And I've got to give props to Vicarious Visions because it seems like they took that feedback from what work they did with NST, because I have seen nothing but love for this fucking remaster on Twitter. Like, honestly, I have not seen a single negative thing said about this remaster. Like, in terms of from a remaster remake perspective, I honestly think we can say that in terms of from fan reception to it, this is the best remaster of a video game, like from the ground up, not using the code, that people that they've done that sticks true to what the games were. Like, I honestly think that this is
without
great.
without counting like, you know, Resident Evil or Final Fantasy where it like changes.
It's a complete re-overhaul,
this is still,
right? Yeah. The only other one I can think that's close to it, it's like Beanox's work on CTR, which I also think was with Nitro Fuel was also incredible. But even then, that's beyond a remaster because they added so much more to that game. So
Beanox actually had, I don't know, some kind of hand in this. I saw them in the like credit things.
Toys for Bob, Vicarious, and Beanox always seem to hold hand in hand on these games, like Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer do on COD. I think like Activision's whole thing is let's work in threes, you know, like it's like little trios.
Get a little circle for Call of Duty, a little circle for remakes,
a little circle for like kids games / remakes, like the more casual market kind of stuff.
You want to make a circle for new IP?
Nah. That's the Blizzard. Sometimes Blizzard does that. Blizzard checks their watch and goes, "Oh, it's been 10 years. Here's Overwatch," and I'm sure
they check their Overwatch.
Thank you. But no, back to Tony Hawk. What's your history with the franchise then, Hunter? Because I'm someone that literally I saw it at like not like, you know, like play like my thing is restaurants would play places in them. I don't know if they're like massive. Like you had Chuck E. Cheese, right? That's like the kind of example.
I've had like, Chuck E. Cheese. Like, I don't remember ever seeing Tony Hawk there.
No, but you know, like this, like restaurants would play places here. It was like shit, like sound like from the UK, you'll know like Brewster's or Wacky Wow's, where it's like it has like a play place on the side of the restaurant where the kids go and fuck about while they're waiting for the food. Right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
For me, they'd have like a PlayStation 2 or a PlayStation 1 kiosk in those places, and the game that was always on those was Jack 1. Jack 1 was always on those for PS2.
That's a weird
Tony
one.
Hawk's Pro Skater, and they're both games that I genuinely must have thought as a kid, oh, these are only at these places, because I never played them outside of these places. But Tony Hawk, I was like, I enjoyed it, but I never was massive into it. So what was your history with like the franchise in general?
So I know that up until at least Underground, we had all of them at some point, and these are all very, very early memories, so they're very hazy for me. Because like I remember having the one, whichever Pro Skater it was, where you could play as Spider-Man. That was a lot of fun.
That was cool. 2.
I'm pretty sure that was 2. I think Pro Skater 1 you could play as Darth Maul, so that was cool.
Of course you could.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
They nailed the guest characters forever, man. It was interesting.
in this one, one of the hidden characters is called like Officer Dick or whatever, and it's Jack Black. So I just want to know that it's just Jack Black as a character.
Awesome.
Yeah, Jack Black loves this series.
So Jack Black's in this game. If you didn't know, he's just a random character. They didn't advertise it or market it really. He just did it for free because he was like, "Yo, I want to be in Tony Hawk." So there you go. Just a nice little tidbit. But yeah, carry on.
But yeah,
Hunter.
after like second grade, I can't recall ever like going back and playing these games that much.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been a while. That's why I thought it would take me longer to remember how to play. But nah, I think the control scheme is just real intuitive. You know, certain buttons do certain tricks as far as like a certain type, like square is like your flips and stuff as far as like flipping your board, like kick flips and all that. Circle is like no or like grabs, and then triangle is like grinding and stuff. It's real easy to get a handle on if you just play it for a few minutes.
Nice.
So that's nice. A cool thing that they do is they don't treat it like it's 19 whatever again.
Yeah.
Like Tony Hawk looks older. The mall level in the first game, it looks run down and stuff now. It's neat. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a good touch.
Nice.
So that's cool.
They've got
they
quite
got
a
a lot of
lineup,
the music back. Yeah. Which is, it sounds weird to say since it's all licensed, but it's imperative to curate the right kind of vibe for this game with the soundtrack.
I feel like that's what made it in a way. Like,
yeah, they nailed it. Like,
yeah, part of the 90s aesthetic is having that classic soundtrack, right? It's like playing a GTA and booting up the radio, and those songs are kind of iconic to that generation.
Like the first thing I heard when I started up the game was Superman by Goldfinger, and I was like, oh yes, so you know what you're doing.
Nice.
And then like other bands that I already listened to and recognize, I heard some Billy Talent and Less Than Jake and all that. And I was like, yes, this pleases me. And there's even like new stuff that I don't remember exactly what they are off the top of my head, but it still fits in line with everything. So that's good that they managed to grab some newer stuff and still make it fit.
So like I've got a couple of questions. One is, we all know we know Vicarious Visions, right? We saw the Insane trilogy. So my two questions to you are: everyone knows that the Insane trilogy, there was no faith at Activision behind it. They thought that it was just going to flunk, that they were just doing it for the sake of it. So there are two things that Insane trilogy is known for specifically, right? We've already talked about the music, so I'm not going to go into that one. But the music for Insane trilogy wasn't very good.
No.
But the two that I want to talk about are, one, how do you, because it's no longer running on Vicarious's Alchemy, right? So this is their first time using Unreal. So one, how does the game look? And two, are the loads as fucking horrendous as NSTs were on launch? Those are the two questions that I have for you.
Okay, it looks pretty good. I'd say that I can't really, there's nothing that stands out as being particularly bad, and everything looks nice to me.
Does it feel like everything's consistent? Because that was my one problem with NST, was NST's art style is, it didn't really have an art style. Like, they were just kind of just throwing shit at the wall. They were like, oh,
yeah,
some are really high quality, some are really like cartoony, and it just feels like a mix and match where
everything looks rather consistent, I'd say. Like, all the environments are pretty varied, which is nice, and they do a good job at making it look, you know, new.
Yeah.
So that's good. And as far as the load times, they aren't bad. Like, restarting the level doesn't take very long, and the only thing is, like, it could start to add up eventually, because you get like a 3 or 2 minute time limit to do your things, and then you got to restart the run and all that. I think moving on to a new level, the load will take a little bit longer than just restarting the level.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because like, yeah, even with Toys for Bob, when they moved from, when they did Spyro Reignited, they did it on the same engine. They did it on Unreal, right? And it was just, even the little things, like, I still stand by it. Spyro Reignited looks fucking phenomenal. It still does. Can't wait. Like,
I do like the way it looks.
It looks miles better than NST, and I feel like because Toys for Bob went for a style and they stuck to it, and now Crash even has that style, which I love that they basically, Crash 4 and Reignited, they look like they could be the same developer in a way, and I like that, because it's like, oh cool, if they ever do want to do a Spyro and Crash collab, now it's so fucking easy because they just look like they could just instantly pop one in. Yeah. Like, please don't remake.
Don't you disrespect Crash Purple.
What can I say, dude?
I never played it. I just I'm just saying, like,
horrendous.
hopefully it's on like a more readily available platform.
Oh, it's horrendous. Not as bad as Spyro Orange. Spyro Orange, oh my god, that was even worse.
Man.
But
I don't remember anything about those games.
It's just mini games, and they were all terrible. But what I was trying,
I just remember they happened, and that's it.
But what I was going to say,
over their game name color, like it's a Pokemon game or something.
But no, it was there's always like these TV.
You have to link them together to get 100%.
You genuinely did. It was terrible. It was genuinely.
It was so dumb.
Oh god.
It was horrible. But anyway,
So
yeah.
Okay,
stupid.
what was your question?
Right, back on track. So with Toys for Bob, when they were doing Spyro Reignited, right, it looked great. It felt great. It felt more similar to what the Insomniac games were than what NST was to the Naughty Dog games. But there were still like teething problems with, for example, when you died in Reignited, it wasn't just an instant load back onto the screen. You always got this Spyro flies around and it says reigniting, and it took like 5 seconds for you to get back onto the level and playing. And it was just always like little nitpicks like that could be fixed, and it looks like they're fixed in Crash 4. But do you feel like there's those tearing issues? Because this is kind of like the point where Activision is switching engines. So
I don't think so. As far as like, it's quick enough for me to glance at my phone and be like, oh, I'm starting already.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay,
cool. That's good enough for me. If I don't have like 3 minutes to look at my phone, then that's fine.
Yeah.
You know.
Cool. So I guess closing thoughts on Tony Hawk, unless you've got some other stuff that you want to talk about.
The way they lay it out is pretty cool because
go for it.
Basically the games are divided up like 1 and 2. You go to like your little menu screen and it's like Skate Tour is the thing that you can choose, and then you can just choose like the levels from 1 or 2 basically.
Okay, cool.
So it's not like you have to load in and out of it's not like Crash, for example, where you like load into Crash 1 and have to go out.
They've kind of unified the experience.
Games. Yeah, it'd be closer to like what they did with the Crash Team Racing remake, where it was like all of your stuff is just in one spot.
Mm-hmm. And then the adventure / story mode is locked, is separate. I don't get Tony Hawk. Is there a set is it just all arcade, or is there like a progression system?
The Pro Skater games are mostly, or as far as I remember, the story didn't come into play into like Underground.
Okay.
But Pro Skater was just kind of like an arcade thing where they give you a checklist of goals to get through.
Okay.
And they just kind of are like, here, do this. And then there's even more challenges for you to do, like at least in this game. I don't remember if these were there in the original, but they've got like challenges like rookie challenges, veteran challenges. You could potentially spend a lot of time just trying to do everything in this game. I probably won't do everything. I'll probably just settle for the goals. I'll probably just settle for the goals on the levels and call it a day, and maybe do whatever you need to do to unlock Crash, because I believe that's something that's in there from what I heard.
I have not seen it yet.
I only kind of heard about it in passing. I don't know if it's true. I just kind of remember hearing someone on a video say something, and I was like, oh, cool.
Hopefully.
I hope.
You'd think so. It's not like it's like a hard secret character to put in, really, is it? Like,
no, and it'd make a lot of sense since, Vicarious Visions remade Crash and all that, all into
Hey, I'm just saying, they could put both Crash and Spyro. Spyro's already been on a skateboard, dude. Spyro's already been on one. You literally just get the model, dude. It's already made. That'd be funny as hell.
Honestly, guy in Crash,
just the original PS1 model.
Crash.
Oh, honestly, if they did do a Crash character in the Tony Hawk games, I'd honestly want it more to be the Crash mascot than Crash itself.
Yeah,
like himself.
Right. That'd be funny.
Like, I want the guy in the Crash suit. I want the exact same guy. The guy that keeps abusing Jeff Keighley every year. I want the same fucking man. I want the same man, dude. I want the same guy.
Oh, man. That'd be great.
I'd love to see it. So, yeah, closing thoughts, Hunter. Would you recommend this? Would you recommend it?
100% I would, especially if you liked the old games. I would definitely look into this, like, for sure. And then even if you're kind of just curious about, oh, what's the deal with this, I'd say that it's pretty easy to get a handle on, and if you want to know, it's a nice little arcadey experience.
Is it cheaper? Is it one of those cheaper games than full price? Because I don't know how.
It's like $30-$40. I don't know.
When
I ordered it on
60,
Amazon,
right? It's not 60. It's still the Activision like $40. So it's even.
When I ordered it on Amazon, it was like $40. But then when they were telling me the game was like, when my copy was being delayed a month, it was like, oh, the price tag was suddenly $33, and I was like, huh. And I don't remember what it was when I bought it on the PlayStation Store. Mm-hmm. I think it was closer to like 33 or whatever, 35 or some garbage.
Yeah.
But
But no, so it's a lower price as well.
So it's not a full price, no.
You've kind of got, if you're even interested, you've got kind of no excuse really. I've heard nothing but great things Unlike another game that we talked about the beta a couple of weeks ago, cough cough, Marvel's Avengers, piece of fucking shit.
I
Here's
just
the
poked
thing,
fun
right?
of it earlier. Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? I'm like, I can't wait for this to be the thing. If people start listening to this more and we ever build up an audience enough for Square Enix to recognize us, and I'm like, I love Kingdom Hearts, I love Final Fantasy, but then they just come, oh yeah, but do you remember that time when you said fuck off Avengers because it was a pile of shit? No copy for you. So.
I mean,
it's like, no, Square, we like the games you
man.
put time into.
But no,
Square's gonna come at you for Avengers, come at me for Final Fantasy 15. It's gonna be a bad day for
oh
everyone.
god, I even forgot about the FF. Kyle, looks like you're going to be the only person that's clear. Oh no, wait, you hate Kingdom Hearts 3, we're all fucked. Right,
I bully Kingdom Hearts all the time.
That's it, we're fucked.
I'm not a real Kingdom Hearts fan. I only like 3 of the games.
I mean, I think all Kingdom Hearts fans only like 3 of them. It's just depending which 3 you like, dude. Like, that's it. Like, I only like 1, 2, and 3. You only like 1 Chain of Memories and 2. Like, it's like there's only 3. You can't like more than 3.
I mean, only liking 3 seems to be the threshold for most fans. Look at Star Wars.
I mean, it's true. You've got to think. But yeah, I think that unlike Avengers, which has been getting nothing but like mixed reception, I've heard nothing but love for this Tony Hawk remaster. It seems like Activision really took the lessons from Pro Skater 5 and went, okay, let's actually try and.
There was a Pro Skater 5.
Yeah, and it was awful. It was like the worst.
Yeah.
It was like it was that. Yeah. It was that bad.
It was like
the
at the beginning of the
bankrupt.
generation, and it was terrible. The studio that made it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, me and Hunter did some research into it, and they just don't exist. It's great.
Yeah, feels bad, man.
But no, I'm great. I'm glad that Activision took the time to actually go back and do make it right again. And I hope that this is the start of a good era for Tony Hawk games again.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they remade the. I imagine that 3 and 4 or Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4 are probably going to get added in somehow. Like they're just gonna remake those and add them as tours or something and DLC.
Yeah, I feel like unlike
and then they could remake the underground games as a new thing later.
Because I feel unlike Crash and Spyro, which they were like, okay, we're gonna remake the 3 games that people like, and then for Crash they're like, oh, people also like CTR, so we'll do that too. Crash and Spyro, they're kind of out of games now that they wouldn't have to completely revamp anyway.
Yeah.
Whereas Tony Hawk, there's so many good Tony Hawk skating games that they could just, if they wanted to just keep doing the remasters, they could. I'd hope they also like to do something new at the same time.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean,
there's so much content now that
it'd be real funny to go from this to Pro Skater 6. Just pretend 5 never happened.
I'd love it. I love it if they just call it 5 again. I honestly would just fuck it.
5, but right this time.
Yeah. 5R. The R stands for right.
Yeah.
Just a whole new timeline in the Tony Hawk universe.
Oh god, could you imagine? Could you imagine
Resident Evil remake up in here?
Oh,
the timeline splits.
Could you imagine if they that's what it's like Crash 4 all over again? All the YouTubers would be like, "What's the real timeline now?" Calm down, kids. Calm down.
In this one, the hero is defeated, but in this one, he succeeded.
Oh,
possibly thought that was a good idea.
Same person that greenlit Kingdom Hearts, the franchise that's had 3 pieces of media try and be Kingdom Hearts 0 now.
Oh man,
where does time travel fit into the Tony Hawk lore?
Oh, who knows? Dude? When Crash comes into it, dude, that's when. Dude, that's when. But yeah, that's
Tony Hawk across time.
Can't wait to buy it, dude. Can't wait to buy it. That's when they'll sell it to me, dude. That's when I'll be sold. But yeah, those were our first impressions of Tony Hawk Pro Skater. If you've played it, let us know how you're feeling about it. But I've heard nothing but positives. Hunter's had a great experience. So yeah, there you go. Yeah. It feels good to talk about new video games, dude. It honestly.
It does. We're sitting here spinning our wheels, chattering about random malarkey all week.
There was a little bit last week with Tell Me Why, but that was just one 2-hour episode, 3-hour episode. Now it's oh shit, things are coming out. You got Kingdoms Amalur next week. We got games finally exist again, and it's oh, thank fuck.
Crash is out next month.
Oh, don't get me started. Dude. Don't get me started. Who's ready for the 3-week extravaganza of that? Don't worry, we'll be the only place to
different people on every week.
Don't you worry, guys. We'll be the only podcast guaranteed to be doing a spoiler cast for Crash 4. You can guarantee it.
Oh man,
all that juicy plot.
Oh man.
You love to see it. Right, moving on. Something else happened this week, guys. I don't know if you were there, but Nintendo finally decided to rise from the depths. They rose from the grave. This was what they did. Hang on. Reenactment time. Audio listeners, imagine me
boy.
on the ground, okay? The hand came up, they rose from the dead, and what did they whisper
from the
into
dead.
little Timmy's ear? Pay $60 for shitty fucking high-res versions of past Mario games. That's what they whispered, kids. That's what they whispered. So yeah, Mario 3D All-Stars is a thing. Let's talk. There was a direct. So I'm going to start with the big reveal of Mario 3D All-Stars and how Nintendo loves...
That was a real fucking mystery.
Yeah, the biggest... It's one of those biggest plot... Literally, this thing sits with fucking...
Another open
Rocksteady's,
secret.
yeah, Rocksteady's Suicide Squad with, yeah, we've known about this for fucking ages, just tell us already. So yeah, 3D All-Stars is coming out in like 2 weeks. It's $60, and it is just up-res versions, essentially, of 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. So 2 good games and a shit one. I'll let you decide which one's the shit one.
I wonder which one you think it is.
Again, a real fucking mystery.
I don't know. I wonder which one it is. So yeah, I was completely fine with this announcement until the backlash, which rightful backlash of what's happened. So what do you guys think? Let's talk about the game itself first. What do you think about the package and the $60 price tag? Then we'll talk about the backlash afterwards. So Hunter, I'll let you start.
Okay, so I'm not really that shocked about the package or the price point because that's just how Nintendo is. It's not necessarily right. It's just not surprising.
Yeah, dude, they made me pay fucking
I just
than
bought-
the
I just
original
bought-
for Funky Kong. Dude.
Yeah,
They
I just
added
bought.
this- they added this fucker and it made it £10 more. How? That should
Yeah.
decrease the value.
Like they fully ground up remade Tony Hawk, and that isn't even a full 60. But Nintendo, gonna do it anyway.
They resold this fucker, and the Bayonetta thing's just a code. Like, what the fuck? It was more expensive. It was also more expensive. And then, I'm sorry, audio listeners, I've shat.
Someday you'll get to finish, Hunter.
Audio listeners, I've completely fucked you in here because there's just a load of visual guides. In Europe, when you got the same package, you got 2 physical versions. One of each. Anyway, carry on, Hunter. Sorry.
One of each.
So yeah, it's
I
just funny.
got 2 of Bayonetta 2. I guess I'm gonna have to get another one.
It's just funny that Nintendo's, this is a very minimal thing. Like, I'm pretty sure that the N60 or the Mario 64 thing was just those pesky ROMs that they're trying to get rid of all the time and dumped onto a thing. So, and they're charging full price for it. I know it's like 3 games, but it's like 3 games, but
Quick sidebar.
Still.
Crash NST was also 3 games, and that was only $40 at launch.
And fully
Yeah,
remade.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying,
$60, same
fully
shit.
remade.
Fuck off. It's another one of those throwing episodes.
That was an
I just pulled,
aggressive
look, my
throw.
earbuds just fell out of my head.
Jeez.
I'm
probably still gonna get it just because I don't want to be scalped for it.
Oh
later
yeah.
if it feels
So
like
this is the
playing
big.
those.
This is the big thing, right? I would be.
Talk about that
right.
little caveat.
Right, as someone that is used to Nintendo bullshit at this point, right? I was completely fine with them doing the 3 things, and I was 100% just expecting it to be re-res, basically upscaled. I like that they at least put the effort in to make Sunshine 16:9, so thank you for that at least. More effort than you put in the Mario 64. But yeah, so Sunshine and Galaxy look great in that collection because they already looked great, but now that they look HD, 64 looks like ass. Like, I don't know what the filter.
And now you can see the ass.
Yeah, I don't know what filter they put on it, but like, other than some of the textures looking way cleaner, like, it looks blurrier compared to the Sunshine and Galaxy footage. Like, I thought they would at least res them to the same scale, even if Sunshine, even if 64 was 4:3. But no, the main problem that everyone has is this is a timed release where you can only get a physical or digital. Yeah, they're fucking limiting the digital as well until March 31st. So you have 6 months to get this fucking game or it's gone forever. So now someone like me that was like, oh yeah, I'll just wait to play these. It's like, great. Now I have to fucking buy it because I haven't fully, like, I've played enough of 64 to hate 64, but I haven't fully played Sunshine, but the little bits that I did, I really love the movement in Sunshine. So I'm looking forward to playing that. And Galaxy, I've heard nothing but wonderful things about Galaxy, right? No
But
one really
I'll get to
speaks.
play it with a controller now.
No one talks bad about Galaxy, dude. So I can't wait to play Galaxy. And I was looking forward to it, but I was like, oh, I'll pick it up later. But now the Nintendo's like, unless you want to pay fucking $100 to fucking Timmy on the fucking eBay, like everyone's Timmy in my world.
Timmy on the
He found a PC, dude. He found a PC. But yeah, so unless you want to be unless you want to pay scalper prices, you basically have to pre-order this fucker because it's out in 2 weeks. So now I've gone from, I'm not buying anything till Crash to now I've got to buy this just so I have it. And I feel like it's a really shitty move because everyone, I think, has come to the realization that the only reason they're doing this is so that they can then charge more later for them individually. Like, that's the only reason they're doing this, is everyone just assumes that they're just going to go separate on the eShop and each cost $25. So then they just make more money. So I honestly don't see how people can defend this. Like, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's like absolutely atrocious. And, I do love getting angry on this podcast, but like, I honestly, same for the Mario fucking, the Mario Battle Royale. Why is this thing only limited for 6 months as well? Why?
Yeah,
I feel like that one isn't gonna stick. Like, they're gonna bring that back after a little bit. I feel like I don't know.
It just
for
doesn't.
Sure. It's just a feeling I got.
I get what they're trying to say. It's like, oh, it's Mario's 35th, so when his 35th is over, that's it. We're done. Not done. Goodbye. Wave and walk away. Right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what they did with the.
But game releases
Mario
are fucking
All-Stars
different.
thing.
Game releases are different.
It's weird.
You don't just go, oh, here's fucking a limited run and then fuck off. Like, no.
Yeah.
Especially not with Mario, the biggest IP on the planet. Like, what the...
Yeah. I understand limited runs for indie games that I have to, like, actually purchase a disc for, actual limited run stuff.
Exactly. Like, limited run. Like, it's not like I'm complaining going, oh, no, they only made X amount of copies of the Persona 5 Royal fucking Phantom Thieves edition and going, oh, this is bullshit. When it's like, yeah, limited quantity things, fair enough. But Mario 3D All-Stars is not something that is like a limited run thing. It's the amiibo craze again, where they only print 12 of the fuckers in total, and then
or like the NES classic stuff,
Yep.
It's so scummy. And it's a shame because it should be something that's should be a happy moment. Like, oh, great, people can finally play these Mario games, right? Some for the first time, some can finally look at them without puking. It's great, right? Everyone can be happy. But
they're gonna do it again next year for Zelda's 35th.
Yeah, but on the bright side, at least
I'm gonna fall for that like a sucker. Because
but at least those will be good games, right? I was having this conversation with my friend. Eamon, if you're listening, Eamon, hey, how's it going? But I was like, the thing is, right, with Mario, this 3D All-Stars, they only had these 3 games to choose from. They didn't have, like, 3D Land. They're not going to do fucking 3D Land. So it's literally all they had was these 3 games. These are the only 3 that they could pick. Maybe Galaxy 2, but fuck Galaxy 2, apparently.
Yep.
I mean, I like
that game's
Galaxy
not real.
more.
Yeah.
But,
game doesn't... That game is just Nintendo's new, we're ignoring you. Like, it's just the middle child that they're ignoring you now. But no, it's like those are the only 3. Where with Zelda, there are so many 3D Zeldas that they could pick. I said that I think the 3 that they'll go for is, hear me out, Zelda's 35th. I'm great at these predictions, guys. Remember, we know the PS5 prices before August. Right, okay, cool. Ethan's predictions for Zelda, the 3 Zelda games will be Ocarina, obviously, Majora, and Skyward Sword. Because, hear me out, they'll then release the Wind Waker HD port separately like they've done with 3D World. Because that one's an actual, like, remake, like, remaster, where the other ones will just be upscaled. So there you go. Heard it here, kids. Those will be the 3.
What about the Twilight Princess port?
That might also come. They might, like, put those 2 in it. You know how, like, 3D World's got Bowser's Fury? They might just put those 2 in a double pack and count that as, like, the deluxe version. So there you go.
See, I was feeling more like Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and then hopefully Skyward Sword. That would be great.
And then they up-res this, and then they do a proper job on Skyward Sword. That'd be interesting. I'd also like to see
cool.
that.
So I feel like they'd hold off on Ocarina. Okay, think about it. If you just ground up asset remade Ocarina of Time, that'd be like a license to print money like Final Fantasy VII is.
Yeah, but also, you think that you could say the same thing about Mario 64, and yet here we are.
Oh, you're right.
They keep going, oh, you know what, do you want to play the same shitty unfinished version every fucking time? Al is real, Lamau, here you go, have a fucking copy. Have a fucking copy.
No, this one you can play as Luigi in it.
I mean, if they would have done that, there would have been
That
people who-
requires them finishing the game, Kyle. It's not going to happen.
He's just already in the code, Ethan.
Yeah, exactly. But they
Yeah.
have to finish it, dude. They'd have to put some effort in, and Nintendo does not want to put effort in when it comes to Mario 64.
Maybe if they finish Mario 64, they can also finish TikTok Clock.
Oh, baby.
Put some kind of fucking floor in that level. That'd be nice.
I don't know.
Instead,
I
it's
don't know
just a
what you're on
climbing
about.
bottomless pit.
I don't know
Oh,
what
man.
you're on about.
That level
TikTok Clock is absolutely flawless.
Getting 100 coins in that level is stress-inducing.
So flawless that they decided to make
Doing
it a
anything
Mario
in that
Kart
level's
track.
awful.
Anyway, back to the Mario Direct.
Okay, as a Mario Kart track, it's actually really good.
Oh, I fucking love TikTok Clock as a Mario Kart
It's a
track.
ton
It's
of
great.
fun.
Fucking great. Great in both its versions. I love both versions of TikTok Clock. Really good.
Yeah.
But back to the Mario Direct. We talked about the 3D. There's a battle royale with Mario, which essentially just looks like that Mario 99 game that was on the internet, basically, which was the same thing.
It's
They got
Tetris
put-
99, but you're playing Mario instead, and it's only 35.
I think Game Grumps have done a similar kind of concept game as well, where it's like a 2D platformer, but you're all fighting against each other. And I think I think theirs is different, where it's like a massive, like really long stage that gradually shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks like that. Whereas this is everyone playing Mario at the same time and just fucking each other like Tetris. Yeah. But it looks fun. Like I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'll give it a whirl when it drops because
I'm curious to
Tetris
know how far
99.
into the game you can go.
I assume the entire game's on it. I assume.
Can you
all
just
of it.
beat the whole game?
You should get like a special like achievement or something in the game for finishing it all. Like if you can.
You
Get
see, the
it.
challenge would be getting everyone else to live long enough to also be able to beat the game before you win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. So yeah, that looks like a ton of fun. It's available early October. I don't remember the date. Was it October 1st? I don't remember the date. I probably should
No
have
idea, but
early
it lasts until the end of March. So
play it while you can because Nintendo really likes you. Hope you have a Switch, kids. By the way, did we tell you that there's 2 new consoles coming out this holiday? Better buy a Switch so you can play Mario while you can, kids. Smiley face.
Cheaper.
So you can play Mario 1 for the 9 millionth time.
Mario 64 for the 10 millionth time, dude.
I just love how in the Direct they start off by showing Mario Bros. 1 on like a remade Game & Watch.
Which is really
and
cool.
then they show Mario Battle Royale, which basically invalidates the Game & Watch thing in the first place.
The Game & Watch thing is just like something for collectors.
It's a collector,
to grab.
yeah.
It's not something that.
Yeah.
It's just something like, ooh, I want that. Let's
Kyle,
get
you
it.
know that they only made 5 of those fuckers, so it's like.
Oh, I'm aware.
Then it's one of those things where it's like, I'm sure people who really like that kind of shit are like, oh, whoops, you okay, Andrew?
I kicked my cord when I moved my foot.
Right.
Whoops.
Anyway, but yeah, for just keep drinking. But
This is fine.
yeah, the Game & Watch I think is just as a collector's item, it's really cool. Would I want one? Fuck no. But hey, it's cool nonetheless. And
I mean, if
Yeah.
someone bought it for me as a gift, I would. be
yeah,
like,
you wouldn't
"Oh,
complain, would you? You'd be
neat.
like, oh, it's a cool
I-
little thing.
Better than a Funko Pop.
What isn't?
I can actually use
What
this.
isn't better than a Funko Pop? That's the real question.
It's true, but
If someone gifts me a Funko Pop, I assume they hate me. Like that's the kind of thing, you know. I'm like, you don't
see,
like
I get them
me.
from people. I get them from people as gifts because they're like, "Oh, I saw this, and I know you like this."
You're a
thing." I'd be like, "Oh,
nerd. Have a
thanks."
Funko Pop. Dude.
I'll
I
be
don't
like,
know
"Oh,
how
thanks."
I don't know if you guys can see it at all, but on the top of my shelf there's a Persona 5 Ryuji Funko Pop that my sister got me for Christmas.
Persona 5 has.
Yo,
Funko
the Persona
Pops?
5 has Funkos, dude. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I take
It
it,
was
back.
Ryuji,
Funkos are great.
Skull Joker, regular Joker, and Morgana.
Oh, so okay.
That were the 4
do they
choices.
look dead and soulless like Funko Pop?
Yeah,
Bulbasaur?
probably. Oh, bring
I
them
can
out.
go grab
Show
it.
and tell, dude. Show and tell. Yeah, remember, guys, give us a rating on iTunes or Google Play if you're around and listening. We
Especially
really
you
appreciate
audio
it.
listeners.
Especially audio listeners, because we love you guys.
Yeah, we've really fucked the audio listeners this episode.
Hey, dude, we fucked them ever since we started the video podcast. Dude, that's it. Like, it shows
This is true. Here he is.
Oh no, because he's wearing the mask. It's not as egregious as when they just have like
Yeah.
massive faces. That's not as bad. I still hate
No,
the piercing
but-
black eyes. I still hate the eyes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no, pretty cool.
He's got his little crowbar.
Nice.
I like it. I like it more than most of them, mainly because the face is covered up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'll put that away later. Or step on it when I get out of my chair, one or the other.
So yeah, there's a couple of other things from the Mario Direct. Actually, cool things. Speaking of a good Mario game, 3D World is finally sending off the fucking monstrous Wii U, leaving its like 3 friends behind. He's like, bye. It's like bye. It's like wave to Xenoblade and fucking.
It finally gets to leave purgatory.
HD, wave to them as you go, like fucking. I just imagine the the Toy Story clip where it's the I don't
So
want,
long, partner.
I don't want to play with you anymore. The drop that's just the 3 remaining Wii U games.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
the 3 remaining Wii U games.
Someday,
maybe.
Someday.
Although it's definitely not gonna happen.
But no, 3D World is getting not a deluxe, but they're actually fucking changing shit, which I was like, what? Nintendo fixing game? What? Are you okay? But yeah, 3D World, which I always say is an underrated Mario game. I fucking love 3D World. It's my favorite 3D Mario. Like, it's great. Especially playing with people, with friends. Oh my god.
With friends, that game is so much fun.
Which, speaking of, online multiplayer. Hey, that's cool. You can play the entire game with your friends online. Which, if it
Hooray!
It works.
I'm praying that it will, because I'd honestly love to play 3D World with you guys. Like, that'd be a great like fucking thing to play the entire game with everyone. Like, get 4 of us together.
That'd be so fun.
Entire game. That'd be awesome.
It's free real estate. More content.
For that, that's some thick content, dude. Imagine it.
Bringing back the Let's Plays? Hell yeah!
Yeah, we'll do it as game nights. We'll do like highlights. We'll do like edited versions of it. But yeah. So yeah, online multiplayer is a big one. 2, they've just fixed they fixed a load of things. The game runs much faster. They've increased the running speed and just the movement in general. They've completely changed camera angles so that they're more comfortable and stuff like that. The cat suit got changes, so you can now climb even higher. They were like, "Hey, you like breaking levels? Break them even more." Like they've made the cat suit even better, and it's just like, and then you also get this instead of the deluxe versions where it's just like, oh yeah, here's this random thing, funky mode, everyone. Instead of adding another
Here, play as Rosalina.
Yeah, I mean Rosalina's already playable. But,
you can play as Waluigi.
Yeah. Instead of adding another character, they actually decided to add a new. Good job, Kyle. Good job at drinking, boy. But
someday we'll figure it out.
Okay. That's why I got like a massive, like wide, like I keep fucking up the thin cup, so I'm just gonna grab a big one. But yeah, they added Bowser's, what is it called? Bowser's Fury.
Bowser's Fury.
Bowser's Fury, which is like, from what we see, is like an entirely new section of the game. Like they just added an extra section, which is awesome. That game's already one of the longer 3D Mario games. It's fucking huge. There's already like 12 worlds into that game, and now to have even more. That's how you fucking do it. That's how you do it.
Honestly,
3D World's getting better treatment than the fucking All Stars collection, and I'm like, that's one where I'm like, hey, I'm actually looking forward to that because I really love 3D.
Mm-hmm.
So that one I love. And then other announcements, Mario Kart Live, which was like a little RC Mario game.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm not going to use it, but it was really cool.
That's a great Christmas present for kids, like
to get for your
honestly.
kid or something. Yeah.
That's gonna be a hit at Christmas. Like honestly, that's such a cool idea. And new Mario Kart stuff is a lot of fun. Hopefully, that means that we're getting closer to the inevitable actual new Mario Kart game.
God, I hope so.
Oh, it's been how many years? 6 years since Mario Kart 8. It was 2014, right? Yeah, because that was the same year as Smash.
Yeah.
4. So yeah, we've been waiting 6 years for a new Mario Kart game. It's fucking time, Nintendo. Like, honestly. So yeah, fingers crossed. And then there was like a load of new merch and stuff like that.
Do you ever get more than one Mario Kart per console?
No, but we've never had a port before, like a full-on port. And it was within the first month of the Switch's life cycle, which suggests to me that they can safely do another one. There's no excuse for them to really not do another one. Mario Kart's always the best seller anyway. You thinking people buy another one? People buy Call of Duty every year. People buy Just Fucking Dance every year. Of course, people buy Mario. Genuinely, if they did like a new 32-track Mario every year, people would eat it up, dude. Like genuinely.
Yeah.
So it's time. But no, I haven't missed anything. Was there anything else in that direct, or was that the majority of it. I think that was all of it.
I think we got it all.
But yeah,
I think that was
what were your
everything.
opinions anyway of the direct in total? What would you say? Anyway,
Hunter, you want to go first?
yeah. Do you want to think of an adjective, Hunter?
I mean, it's cool that they're trying to celebrate this. I wish it was less clumsy with the whole 6-month time limit on everything, but I like it when companies, I like it when they actually remember their stuff. It's very hard to forget Mario, and you have to be egregious if you didn't do something almost, but it's still cool that they're trying. I just wish they were executing it a little better.
Yeah.
Like, maybe they should. I mean, I guess there was no way to know if they would have had this ready in January, but when the actual 35th year started, start celebrating then.
Yeah.
Rather than,
I think
the
September
last.
is the 35th start, though. I think, if I'm right,
okay.
that's why they announced it now. It's because, if I remember correctly, before COVID happened, according to people like Jason Schreier, who we all know, he's usually pretty accurate with this kind of shit, but he could just also be making it up. So who knows? But we'll take his word for it. He said that the 35th anniversary was supposed to be in September. So the idea was September 3D All Stars, which they thought was going to get delayed to November, but no, it's still coming. But 3D
World didn't do anything to them.
3D. The reason that they were going to delay it is because 3D World was supposed to come out in November. That's been pushed to February. That's the one that got pushed. So they were thinking, maybe they'll delay All Stars because that's what they want. But obviously I assume they have plans for another game this holiday. So, but no. So yeah, we'll see. Kyle, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting to play Mario 3D World again. I played that game with a few of my roommates back in college, and that was just a ton of freaking fun. The only issue is I can't play that game single player now because multiplayer's too good.
Yeah, it's great.
As for the 3D All Stars, that's good, I guess. I don't really have an attachment to any of the games, but my one hope is that now that Nintendo has made a console and a controller with a right analog stick, give me full camera control for Mario 64 and Galaxy, please.
Fuck off. No.
Don't give me the garbage 90-degree turn.
100%. You're 100% going to be playing with 90-degree turn, dude.
I feel like full camera control probably will not happen.
Because it's Nintendo. And you play by Nintendo's rules, dude. It's Nintendo's world, you're just living in it, dude. That's how it works.
That's the other thing. I think we forgot, we didn't mention this. Mario Sunshine, an article came out that said GameCube controller wouldn't be compatible with it. So there's also that.
I'm not shocked, to be honest.
Go figure.
Nintendo's always said that when they released the GameCube adapter,
it's just a
Smash Bros.
They said it for Wii U as well, where they were like, yeah, this is just for Smash Bros. Don't expect it to work with other things. And then sometimes magically it does work with other things, but I feel like
it works with Tetris.
Yeah.
Of course.
I don't know why, but it works with Tetris.
But yeah, I think it's one of those things where it's just you just don't get attached to the GameCube controller, which you shouldn't anyway. Because when will you?
You shouldn't. It's a bad controller.
I am not fucking ending this podcast until each and every one of you fuckers learns that the GameCube controller is a piece of shit. It is awful. It is garbage. Nintendo did not make a good controller until the Wii U. Fuck off. Thank you. Even the Wii.
Why is the D-pad so small?
Why
is it smaller than my thumb?
Because barely anything used it.
Why is it there? Why is it there?
Then why? Like,
I don't know why, but
Yeah, fuck it off.
Barely anything used it.
If I had one, I'd throw it. If I had one, I'd throw it.
I have two of them over there.
Hang on, dude. I got a second one. Here you go.
Thank you, dude. I was just going to throw Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for Funky Kong. Throwing things, the gag that never gets old on Hot Gamers Only.
No, but it's very cathartic.
I don't even know where Donkey Kong just went, so that'll be fun. Bye, monkey.
Bye, monkey.
Bye, monkey.
As a little inside joke for
Lovely.
my followers, dude. There you go, and Cal's followers.
Hey, don't steal my joke
And
I stole
anyone
from
who likes
someone
family
Hey,
else.
dude,
rules.
what can I say? What's the fun in making original content when you can steal, kids?
And that's why we're making a video game podcast
Hell yeah! Hey,
Yep.
no other podcast is like
on a collaborative Let's Play
it's not
channel.
a Let's Play channel anymore, dude. It's just a collaborative channel. We got rid of the Let's Play. It's
just a podcast channel at this
until
point.
we can figure out,
Yeah.
until one of us can be bothered to me write a script or Cal speak a script into his microphone.
Recite a script.
That's the word. Recite. Word of the day, kid.
Speak a script.
Speak verbally outpour a script. There we go. We're getting off track. So there you go. That was the
I'm shocked.
Mario Direct. Holy shit, we were already really going, but we're gonna keep going.
Well, Ethan, take us home.
Take us home, right?
What have you been playing, Ethan?
Well, I mean, what have you been playing, Kyle? I'll let you get yours.
What have you been
Get
playing?
yours out of the way. What have you been playing, Kyle? Say the word.
Literally nothing. I've been watching Avatar and Cowboy Bebop this past week.
Yeah, dude. Wow.
Avatar 2.
I don't know
that
what
is
else you want from me.
delightful.
It's a great combination.
Yeah, dude.
That is pretty good.
I know you
One
talk.
day I'll get you to watch both of those, Ethan.
Fuck no. I've tried Avatar before. We've talked about this. I tried Avatar before. I couldn't get into it. It's at the start, especially because when I tried to watch it as a kid, it's just such a slow burn at the start that it just killed me. Like I was like,
The first 6 or so episodes are pretty slow, but then once you get to Jet, the show really picks up pace.
yeah, but you know what I'm like, Kyle. It's a miracle if I actually watch 6 episodes of a show. So
This is true.
even if I did watch it, it'll take 3 years. Anyway, off topic. I did not play Tell Me Why episode 2 this week. I'll say it on camera.
Boo.
Bad gamer. We'll talk
Bad gamer.
bad gamers all.
Give me your library card.
Don't worry, I read somewhere else, Kyle. I read something else. It's all good.
Oh, goody.
But no, we'll talk about our full impressions of Tell Me Why next week, and there'll also be a spoiler cast, probably going live the following Friday if me and Hunter are available to record 2 next week. So there'll be plenty of Tell Me Why talk going on there. But I started on stream. I can't remember when. It was early in the week, right? Was it Monday or I can't remember. I started early this week playing. I decided to give Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc one more fucking time. I hate the name, by the way. Can I just say Trigger Happy Havoc Danganronpa? Awful fucking name for a video game. Danganronpa is already.
I like it.
Danganronpa already.
I believe
I don't know
that
why I hate
Danganronpa.
the subtitle.
I believe that the translation is something like Truth Bullet, so it makes sense that Danganronpa is named what it is, and then Trigger Happy Havoc.
But
I don't know. It sounds.
Danganronpa
cool.
is
Yeah, I
already
like
a
the
weird thing.
alliteration.
Like when my friends are like, "Oh, Ethan, what are you playing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm playing Danganronpa, kids." And they're like, "What?"
My friend has asked me about it before, and I say the name, and he'll be like, "Did you
Danganronpa.
What does that mean?
Bless you.
Was that a word?" And I was like, "Technically."
Oh, I did also. I genuinely just want to say I did not write down the timestamp because I'm a great person. I'm just going to guess the timestamp. If it's wrong, sorry guys. I'm not going back to check. But yeah, so I've been playing Trigger Happy Havoc Danganronpa, and you saw my first impression. You saw my first playthrough. You saw like the first 2 or 3 hours, Hunter. You've seen me play the first 2 hours. Did you watch me solve the case?
I got up to like the You were doing the investigation, and then in the middle of the investigation is when I went to bed.
So what we're going to do is we're near the end of the podcast, guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk very lightly about stuff, and then if I do feel like there are any like serious things that I'm like, hey, if you want to play this game, I'll say get the fuck out, right? Cool. Because this is a game that if you haven't played Danganronpa and you think you'll like it, go and play it because it's pretty good.
Play it.
It's pretty great.
If you're a fan of like the Ace Attorney games or any other kind of mystery type thing, I recommend checking it out.
Yeah, but
it was also made by the same people that made Zero Escape, wasn't it?
It's the same
Spike Chunsoft,
yeah, but it's a different group within the company.
Chunsoft,
yeah.
I don't know. The difference is I saw an interview recently. Apparently, the person that makes Zero Escape really doesn't like killing characters off, which I find ironic, right? He says he says that it's painful to write, whereas the guy who made Danganronpa is known as being a sociopath and loves killing characters. Like he loves it, and he loves making the deaths as gory as possible. Like this guy's fucking nuts, and I can tell.
Why?
Yeah, fireworks. Yeah, happy.
Those are on my end.
Yeah, fireworks on our end, guys. They're celebrating the 25th episode of HGO, dude. They're celebrating. Yeah. All right. What a time to be alive.
Actually, it is Labor Day tomorrow. Maybe that's why.
Probably.
You have
or today when the video goes up.
That is a point. You have got a point, Kyle. Well done. See, Kyle, you should play Danganronpa. It's that kind of investigative.
Thanks, I know how to read a calendar.
But no, so basically, if you don't know the premise of Danganronpa, I'm just going to briefly give it you. Essentially, you play as a kid called Makoto, who's a dumbass, who goes to a school for
he is the worst.
Who goes to a school for the gifted. It's one of those classic anime tropes where it's like, oh, you go to a high school where everyone's special and unique, and then the game the game kind of goes, haha, JK, we know those are tropes. We're taking the piss out of those tropes. It's actually a high school you're locked in now. You're gonna murder everyone. And then basically the idea is, hey, you want to get out of this high school that you're stuck in? Just kill someone else and don't get caught. It's as simple as that. So it's a murder game. It's basically, they call it the killing game, right? That's what they call it in the game.
That's what it's called, yeah.
So the whole process is, it's essentially a visual novel. It's 90% a visual novel. Where you talk to people, you make friends or whatever. You can choose to make friends if you want, or you can. I've heard everyone
just go to sleep.
Just go to sleep. It's your choice. Just like in real life. But yeah, the whole idea is it's basically solving murder mysteries. Someone will get killed. You have to solve the case by looking at the body and the clues. And hey, guess the right person. Hooray! They get killed. They get punished where they get killed.
But you don't.
And you don't. That's the important thing. Find them out, and everyone else dies, and they survive. Yeah. And I'll say what I said on Twitter, where I'm like, I can see why people really, really love this game, right? I can see why people really love it. There's something I can't. It's really weird because I feel. God, those fireworks are going.
Sorry,
it's fine. Hey, it's adding suspense. Like, I was not enjoying my time playing. It's a very weird feeling where it's like I was feeling uncomfortable, and I didn't like you don't feel good when someone's died. You're like, oh, that's nasty, and you're like, oh, I feel uncomfortable in this entire situation. But there's something about the gameplay loop where it's just like, it's so much fun to just investigate and solve the case.
Solving mysteries is fun, dude.
Yeah. But it's not an I wouldn't call it like, it's one of those games like The Last of Us where I said The Last of Us.
Yeah, it's like The Last of Us where you're like,
it's not enjoying. It's not like I'm not enjoying this. Like I'm not having quote unquote fun playing this video game because it's miserable. Like it's people,
especially if you happen to like one of the victims, or if you solve it and realize that one of the people you like did it.
Yeah, I mean, I got lucky where they do a good job with this game with the first case where I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this because I don't want people the characters that I like being just killed off and then me having to deal with that and solve this case, right? And they do a very good job of making you get attached to someone very early on and then killing them straight away to go, can't get worse than this, can it? And I think they do a really good job of it. And they also do a really good job of whoever the culprit is, of making you feel bad for them as well. So that then you're like, oh, can't get worse than that. And in a way, I think it doesn't necessarily get worse than that. I feel like you kind of eventually just kind of get used to it. Oh, someone else has died.
You just kind of get desensitized.
Yeah, you kind of just get desensitized to the characters, right? But overall, it's like really fun. The worst part to me is the killing game part of it. Strangely enough, I love the detective mystery stuff. I like a majority of the characters actually.
You don't like the class trial part?
No, I like the class trials. I like the gameplay. What I'm talking about the killing game is I just don't like how excessive it is. Like,
oh, you don't like the over the top like executions?
Yeah,
and stuff.
It doesn't appeal to me because it just feels like it's just for the sake of it. Like I'm not someone that I don't go, oh, that's gory, oh, I hate it. Like I'm just like this is a bit over the top. Like it's just like, oh wow, yeah, and it's just like, really, like This is it.
All
It's
right.
like everyone was like the
I,
final like
I feel like it's contextualized in a way, like because of Monokuma being the person who's running this thing.
yeah,
It makes sense that it's as wacky as it is in that
Mhm.
regard.
yeah.
And I guess if it kind of turns you off, I feel like every game the executions peak with the first one anyway. So
I don't
after
know.
that, if you can,
The second, you mean like the actual the ones that Monokuma does, the Monokuma accent?
yeah, the ones that Monokuma does, I feel like every time it peaks with the first one.
Yeah, that first one's pretty interesting, and
Oh yeah,
Danganronpa one. But I'm just talking about even when you find the bodies, right? I'm even talking about, oh, a body has been discovered, and then it's just like, oh, this is just extremely graphic for the sake of it being, especially the second one.
all right.
The second one, I'm just like, yeah, that's just a bit like, I'm not really a huge like. It just, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. But the story's great. Um, the second case, ironically, I think is the best case in the game.
The second one was pretty good.
I think in terms of like an actual who done it mystery, that's the best one
Yeah,
by far. It's not even close. The first one holds your hand too much. So I feel like if
yeah.
you somehow fuck up the first one, then congratulations, because the game gives you everything and holds your hand the entire time. But that second one is just such a great like little mystery that I'm like, oh, it's so well done. To the point where
Yeah, there's a pretty solid twists and turns in the second
yeah,
case.
like in the second case, there's like 3 twists where it goes like in so many different locations. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I feel like the game doesn't really. I feel like it peaks at that moment in terms of the mystery, because the third case I just think is completely underwhelming.
Yeah.
The third case just it's fine. Like I was just like, yeah, it's fine. The fourth one I think is interesting, but I had already worked it out from the start. Like the fourth one, I was like, yeah, I know this instantly. I know what's happened. Like I'm just like, I don't even need to sit through this case. I'm like, I know what happened. You're all just dumbasses.
Yeah.
And then same with the ending, right? I think I was talking to my friend Ed about this, and I'm like, it's really
Did you guess the
important.
final culprit, like the mastermind? Nice.
I guessed it by I guessed it by chapter 4.
Nice.
But I feel like that's like the thing with a murder mystery is it's good if you figure it out. And it's not one of those
Yeah,
where the
right.
game literally shoves it in your fucking face. It's not like one of those.
No, there was a very specific moment that I caught on to, like, who it was, and then I was
Well,
like,
the
I think it's
wording,
gonna
right?
be them.
Someone says something, and there's the wording of it, and I'm like, oh, you've just said that, and now my mind was
Actually,
like, oh, okay.
for me, it was one of the bodies later, and I was like, oh.
Oh no, that obviously tipped me in even more, but it was actually during case 4, where Monokuma says something during that case, and he says something, he words it in a way where I'm like, oh, so that's that. And then I just started doing the math. I just started doing the maths on it. I'm like, okay, something doesn't add up here. And I was like, oh, thinking about this, if something had to happen, and so, like, if something was forced, then it could only be this thing, which means this thing is that thing, which means this person is this, and then it just kind of, the game just kind of kept going. It's like Cal's just like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I'm following all of this.
I don't want to spoil it for people that haven't played it, because you should go and play it. It's a great,
you're good.
great little mystery game. Not for you, but people listening, Kyle. But it's a great little mystery that you should like. But I was talking to my friend where I'm like, if you are doing a good murder mystery, then you should be able to solve it. You shouldn't have the game at the end go, oh, this was this because you were missing this little clue. You should be able to figure it out early on, and it not be forced in your face. Like I was kind of like, oh, I've got it, and I wasn't like, oh, I've got it, like in most games, because it's like someone's,
yeah, come on, I've got it, let's move on. It's more like I think it's this, but it could also be maybe something else.
Like the game,
maybe two or three other things.
Yeah. Whereas like the game does a really good job of like, I feel like there's never a point in this game where I'm like, we're like, apart from the first case, because it holds your hand so much, it's like, yeah, I know, I've already figured this out, keep moving. But I always feel like there's no point in the game where any of the characters are saying stuff and I'm like, yeah, we already know this, get a fucking move on. It always feels like the game,
unless maybe Makoto is saying it. I feel like I was always 4 steps ahead of your actual character.
Yeah. But in terms of everyone else, like for example,
as far as like
Byakuro's
if Kyoko says something, I'm like,
like if Byakuya, Kyoko, or Hina are talking, it's like, oh, they're actually making a contribution here. They're not just repeating facts that I already know. Like it's always like the game isn't trying to like keep you up. Basically, it's like, okay, So I respect it, and also the characters are great. I thought Kyoko's a great character. I really like Kyoko.
Kyoko is my favorite character in the series. She's the best.
She is. She's really.
It helps that she's basically the hero of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you were saying like it sucks when you get attached to, you said it sucks when you get attached to people and then they die or they find out the killer. I don't know how I did it, but after the first case, I was like, okay, I think you're a safe bet to make it to the end. And then I just decided to friend someone else, and the two people that I like was quote unquote decided to hang out with the most and kind of liked the most ended up making it to the end. So I didn't actually experience that. I was like, hey, roll the dice.
Okay, with the first game, yeah, my two favorites at least survived, and then a couple of other ones died, but
yeah,
it's whatever.
But no, well, the remaining people, like the remaining characters, I liked the majority of the remaining characters that do end up surviving. So I was like, yeah.
Except for the one, yeah, I see what you mean.
I know which one you're on about, and I don't hate them as much as everyone else hates them, but I just like they're fine. They're a fine character. Like they're annoying at times, but do what you want. But no, I really like it. You guys should definitely play it if you haven't, if you're into this kind of game. But don't, it's such a weird game because I feel like I can't like say, oh, this is exactly how I felt. It's like you really do have to experience this game. It's really weird. Like,
yeah, it's like
I didn't think this game was affecting me as much as it was. Like I was like, I didn't think going into it that I'd be affected by the deaths and the story and what was happening and how kind of fucked up the whole situation is. But then, as I've tried to
sometimes it doesn't hit you till you get to the end.
Yeah, and then oh god, like when everything's in place and you realize what's happened and you're like, oh, this is like just a shitty situation in general, like period. Like this is all not like really fucked up. But it's one of those games where I'm sleeping and my mind's still on it. I'm just thinking about it a lot, and I'm like, I can't sleep because I'm just thinking about it, and it's been a while since I've done this. And not in a positive way either. I'm like, oh, this is kind of fucked up. Like this is that, and then I feel bad for this and like that. It's an interesting little.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah, it's an interesting experience, and the soundtrack fucking slaps, dude. Like honestly.
Oh, dude. I think it's called like New World
Order.
Plays. Anytime Kyoko says something and you get the blah, blah, blah,
little piano bit,
goes, I'm like, oh,
fucking chills,
let's
dude.
go.
Because it's the same piece of it's like the reprise of the you're solving the case music. Like the music plays while you're sorting out the comic book, which is the last stage of the class trial. It's fucking incredible. I'm like, that is a perfect piece. And then when it reprises later, and it's like this massive like piano solo version of it with like a booming like orchestra. So I'm like, this is like, honestly, it's such a good, it's so haunting as well. It's like, I'm gonna have to send it you, Kyle, because it's so fucking good.
Please do.
I really like the the background music for when you're, I think it's after someone's been killed.
Yeah,
the music that plays then.
I send it Kyle now during the podcast. Almost. That's how we're gonna do this.
I don't remember
but you'll do this, but you won't use a notepad to keep your timestamps.
Hey, dude, I like writing them.
Mr. I don't want to type during the podcast.
Okay, cool.
Oh, it's
I can't send it you. I can't send it you because it fucks up the thing. But as soon as the podcast is over, we'll send it you then. But no, go play it. It's great. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. But at the same time, you don't really feel.
It's good to hear.
You don't really feel enjoyment from it. That isn't the word I'd use to describe it. It's kind of weird.
It's good to hear, because I had a feeling you may have got to the end and been like, oh, it was whatever. I don't really care about playing the next one.
It's like, that's the thing, right? Is I'm not like in love like everyone else is. I'm not like, I feel like there's a group, when there's a load of people that really, really love Danganronpa. Like really, like it's one of those, it's like Persona, where it's like, when its little audience that it has is so ravenous and so hardcore for it.
Persona and Danganronpa are two of the weirdest series I've ever played in the best way. I love it.
But it's like I said, the killing game doesn't really appeal to me in a way. Like I enjoyed the story and I enjoyed the setting and I enjoyed the characters, but it wasn't like I didn't enjoy the experience of going through it. Like it's a painful thing the whole time. And I mean, the whole theme of Danganronpa is despair, and I feel like that's a perfect word that they achieve their goal, because that's all you feel during it. Is you don't feel happy while playing Danganronpa, really, because even when you're like, yes, I understand this is how this person died and I figured it out, that's still a character that you liked, and now you've like, oh
Yeah.
this other character that I also liked,
I've solved the case. Oh wait, I've solved the case.
Cost?
You know, and it's like,
Yeah.
you're just hoping that, hey, maybe some of the characters that I like make it out, and some of them do, some of them don't. I got lucky, I guess. But no, I'd recommend it if you like visual novels. If you're massive into gameplay, I think the Clash Trials are a load of fun. So
yeah,
and a real nice break of pace. But even as someone that loves Persona and loves going into every dialogue, there were parts of this game where people were talking and it wasn't part of the case. So I was like, in through one ear, out the other, fucking hold the circle button, bye conversation, don't care that much. There were points where I was like, yeah, I don't need to right now, like, concentrate. Maybe there's a bit too much. Sometimes it's a bit overindulgent, which, again, is a word that you can very much use to describe all the Persona games as well, because they very much fucking love to revel in the fact that they're Persona games, and Danganronpa's the same, where it very much revels in the fact that it is what it is, and you've got Monokuma.
I just respect it for that sometimes.
You gotta respect it, right? You gotta
It's like why Metal Gear Solid is the same way. It's like, yes, come enjoy this. So do we.
It's one of those games where it's like, it loves reveling in itself. Like, Monokuma is essentially a character that just loves being like Monokuma. It's essentially the
Monokuma steals the show, man. It's great.
He does. And even though I feel like the overall mystery kind of falls flat in the end, like, it's just like, the ending isn't incredible. Like, if you're expecting like this epic ending, it's like,
nah, the ending isn't like, I feel like the ending makes sense for what it is. It's kind of like this, oh, it's this now.
Yeah.
So,
and it kind of does go like this. The last third of the game kind of does stay away from the, oh, this is a murder mystery with a load of high school kids, like in a high school. It kind of steers away from that now to what's the bigger picture. And I feel like, yes, it needed to do that, and there's a load of cool revelations and a load of cool character development. But at the same time, it kind of loses its charm, which is why I say that the second chapter of this game, in my opinion, was probably my favorite chapter, because it was the perfect balance of, you're used to the killing game to the point where you're expecting something shit to happen, but there's a load of plot twists, and it's still at the point where it is just your basic high schoolers trapped scenario, where I think it kind of perfectly. If I was to like say, oh, what was my favorite part? Chapter 2 was definitely like, that was the, oh, this is Danganronpa, I get it.
Yeah.
But no, I really enjoyed it. I can't say there's a part of me, it's like, I want to play the other one straight away, but there's also the point where I'm like, yeah, but also, can I go through it again without feeling
I played 1 and 2 back to back, but I have a much different tolerance for this than I think you do. So,
well, usually death doesn't usually bother me. It's just you know what,
the gore.
No, I know what you mean.
The gore doesn't bother me either. It's the fact that it overindulges itself in it, right? That it loves that the game is very explicitly like, hey, it's killing time, and then something fucking nasty happens. And I'm not doing this. I'm not like, oh god, that's nasty. I'm just sitting there like, and completely fine. Like, I'm not budged by it, but I'm just like, it's a bit, I don't know, tacky.
It's like how some people think like Tarantino's movies can be a bit much because they just get crazy with stuff like that.
Yeah, but I'm not even going, oh, that's too much. I'm just like, like, I don't really care. I don't really, it's not, the best description is, I don't care for the gore or the violence, where I'm just like, really, I like the murder mystery side of it, but I don't like the, oh, here's the dead body. Like, 90% of the time, Carl, it's you walking into a room and there's just a dead body there and it's been mutilated horribly, and you're like, oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, yeah, I get it, but I'm just like, that's not the bit that I wasn't like, ooh, I wonder who's going to die next. I'm like, okay, let's get this over with so I can start the trial and figure out who did it. I wasn't like, oh, I bet you this person's going to do something, or this person. And then eventually it does get to the point, like you say, where I just don't care. Where there's literally, in one case, like multiple people just fucking off.
And there's one that's a double murder.
There's one where it's just like, oh, bye. And then, and I'm just like, bye, don't care. Like, it got to a point where I was like...
Well, the victims for that one kind of sucked.
Yeah, true. But at the same time, I was just like, bye, don't care anymore. Even the culprit, I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Can we get this over with? And then I feel like the main problem with Danganronpa is it's really cool when you have a massive cast of characters. Like when you have 15 characters and you're like, who done it? That's cool. But when it gets down to like chapter 4 and you're already down to like 7 people left, and you already know these characters well enough to understand who they are and what their motives would be, it gets to a point where it's just like, this is boring. And that's when Danganronpa has to pick up the pace and go, okay, this is where we need to move to the larger picture now. We need to move to that. And then it loses some of the charm in the first place that makes it the big murder mystery, which is what I think kind of let me down in a way, but I still loved it. Like I say, it's still great. I just don't love it as, I'm not like a diehard. Like, I don't want a Monokuma plush. That thing's fucking weird. Like, get it away from me. But I can see why people love it, and I don't know if I'll go straight into the next one, but at the same time, I've got nothing really else that I want to really play at the moment. But
and then V3 is pretty cheap most of the time too, so you could get that whenever you want.
I've heard V3 though is either people's favorite or they don't like it.
It's very divisive, and I would be able to go into more once you play it, but I really like the characters in that one.
I mean, we haven't talked yet, so I'm sure off the podcast we'll talk all about the spoilers of Danganronpa 1.
Once you play all of them, we could do a retrospective episode someday.
Oh, wow. You're asking me to play through like 90 hours of visual novel there, dude. I think that's a bit much.
I'm not saying it has to be in a month from now. I'm just saying whenever you do it.
I hope you like reading books, Ethan.
Oh, it's honestly like, I was like, oh yeah, I love the visual novel side of Persona, and then I was like, no, maybe I just really like the writing of Persona and the performance of Persona, because in Danganronpa, my thing is like, I love Kyoko. Kyoko's my favorite character by far, right? So I really enjoyed her, but she's voiced by Erika Harlacher anyway, so I'm like, oh, this is just a great performance anyway. Yeah. So I'm like, really good. I just like your voice anyway. And like, Byakuro is an asshole, and I love him. Like, he genuinely is the definition of a psychopath asshole, but you just love to hate him. So he's a great character.
It's so good. I grew to respect him over time too.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it was one of those things where it's like, you're a massive twat, but I like you just because I respect you for being you, you know. And then there are just characters where it's like, I did like characters, like I liked Hina a lot. I liked some other characters that were all...
I liked Sakura, I liked Celeste, a bunch of them were cool.
But then there's some that I fucking hate. Like the big nerd guy, fuck him off.
Hifumi, little beaver boy with his stupid face.
Beaver boy.
And his mouth and his fucking...
His 200 pounds of teeth.
No, sir. And then like...
hate him.
Basically, you can tell if I hated the character if I don't know their name. The guy that was super strict about rules, he can fuck off. Just a lot of them. I was like, I nearly said
one. That's the thing. It's like,
spoiler.
A lot of them are just kind of there and tropey and or fodder.
Yeah.
But
I'd recommend it. Like, the end is nothing special, but the actual reveal, like the actual mystery, like solve, it's a fun little time.
Yeah, the actual end of the case as far as the mystery is concerned.
In terms of Monokuma and that stuff, it really wraps up where I'm like, oh, that's cool, and I respect it, and there's a bit of fun with it.
That was really good. It's just kind of like the resolution. I feel like that's a thing with mysteries in general, is once you get past the solved part, the actual like resolution to it is always kind of not as exciting.
Yeah, I can feel that, but then I feel like I always talk when I say about P4, right, where I love the ending of the mystery and the start of the mystery is really interesting, but the middle felt like so much filler that I just kind of feel like if we were watching a TV show, a couple of these dungeons would be single episodes, right, where it's like you could very easily... Because the same outcome happens, especially with like Kanji and Rize's and all these kind of people. The same kind of things are happening where you can just kind of skip over the main part because the same things happening for each character because they all need to awaken to that persona, right? Whereas with this mystery, I feel like every chapter is necessary and needed to pull the story forward.
They do a real good job at like drip feeding you details for
it doesn't feel like mystery. It doesn't feel like more part, like it doesn't feel like, oh, chapter 2 is when I say chapter 2 is like more of the school murder kind of style, it's still, when you look back on it in retrospect, pulls the larger story forward as much as any other chapter does. It just does it so well that it hides it behind you, and you're like, oh, when you look back, you're like, oh, okay, I'm just dumb and I should have been thinking about this more. there's no like, maybe chapter 3 was a bit of like or chapter 4's mystery was not a mystery at all. Like, I saw I'll talk to you off screen about that one, Hunter. But yeah,
Oh, man.
that one just kind of just happened. I was like, yeah, cool.
Is that my fault?
But yeah, it feels like it's paced really well. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a really well paced game, and yeah, you should definitely play it. There you go. I've talked enough about this game without spoiling it. But hey, that's what spoiler casts are for, and this is not a spoiler cast. We're done.
Yeah.
That has been our show. Thank you for hanging out with us for the 25th episode. Fucking crazy that we've been doing this for this long. But there you go. Halfway through a season of HGO. Awesome. Hunter, where can people find you?
YouTube.com/ReaperHunter23.
Nice. And Cal, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at KDavisSRL, also on Twitch at twitch.tv/KDavisSRL.
Nice. And you can find me at ChaoticEther on both Twitter and Twitch. That has been our show. Remember, you can catch us every Monday at 5 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. Eastern, on podcast services everywhere and on YouTube. You can just go to bit.ly/thegiggers. Subscribe to us on YouTube and you get access to the video version of the podcast. The audio version is the exact same as well. So, hey, if you just want to listen in the car, go over and get it.
And don't want our bevy of visual gags this episode.
Yeah, I've got nothing else to throw. I've got nothing else to throw.
I can only take off the hoodie once.
But no, that has been our show. Thank you ever so much for listening. We'll be back next week with Kingdoms of Amalur First Impressions and maybe a topic, because we haven't done a topic in a while. So hopefully, maybe we'll do a topic. And tell me why impressions as well, because I'm sure that Hunter will have probably at least started it by then, and I will have probably finished it by then. Yeah. So plenty of stuff. And Kyle, maybe we'll one day play a video game again. We'll see. No. Okay, maybe not.
Nah.
He's like, nah. I'm just here for the.
Yeah, video games are for nerds.
Cool, dude. Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, he's here for the bands, dude. He's here for.
This is my farewell from the podcast. Goodbye, everyone.
Kyle, come back.
No, what will we do? What will we do? Everyone else is.
Ethan and I just have to talk to each other every week.
No, we need you, Kyle. It's just a monologue then. It'll just be two people monologuing at each other, dude. That's it.
Two people talking.
No, that's a dialogue.
No.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it'll just be me talking about something, then it'll be you talking about something, and that's it. We'll just be like, well, that's our show. Thank you for listening.
Not if you two talk about the same something.
That's illegal, dude. That's illegal.
It's illegal.
Oh, shit.
Nah, but there you go.
Maybe you should play Tony Hawk, Ethan.
Maybe, if I had money. This is where I'd put my copy of Tony Hawk if I had
one. You know what? I don't have a copy either. It's stuck in my PlayStation. I can't hold it.
It's one of those digital copies, the fanciness of technology. But yeah, that's been our show. I'm wrapping it up or else we'll go on forever. Thank you ever so much for listening. We'll be back next week for more. Well, until then, stay safe and have a great day. Bye.
See ya.
Toodaloo.